Alright guys, we're in the garage. We've got a new accessory for the Model Y. Let's get this thing opened up. As you may have guessed, it is the official Tesla bike rack for the Model Y or for Model X that has the tow hitch. You can put this on, strap your bikes on. Let's see what's included in this. All right, getting this out of the box. This thing is heavy duty. This thing weighs almost 50 pounds, and it feels very sturdy. I'm sure this has no problem carrying 4 bikes. Has these nice adjustable here. This part folds up, so this actually folds up and down, so it's easy for storage. This is the part that goes into the receiver. There's a lock portion here. And then we got our instructions. It comes with a front strap, so this will strap the front tires together so they're not spinning around. It comes with a bunch of these straps. These straps go into these clips here over the top of the bike. And there's 3 for each position. So there's one for the seat top tube or the seat tube in the top on all positions. We've got 2 keys. This is actually made by Yakima. All the branding on this says Yakima on it. So they partnered with Tesla to make this. And then we have 2 Allen keys here. So what I want to do is I want to get my hitch cover off. I want to get it inside of the hitch receiver. And that way we can extend it and start trying some bikes on it and just kind of seeing all the features of it. So the hitch is already covered up, or the receiver. I keep this little nylon pry tool inside my car just to be able to pry this cover off. You just have to get the tool right between the cover, the thing, and just twist it off. I use this because it doesn't mark up. It doesn't leave any marks. It doesn't leave any abrasions on this at all. So I take that off. Here's our receiver hitch. Let's put the bike rack in there and let's see how it fits in there. Well, I have it just partially in there. It's not snapped in. There's a little knob here that will lock into the hole inside of the receiver. You push this button here to retract that. So I'm going to push that. No, that's in. That's locked in right there. And then this silver piece on top kind of takes up the slack. And then as you turn this knob here, it just kind of tightens it. It says to turn it about 10 foot-pounds. Right there. It's kind of locked in. And then the included key will fit in there. It'll lock it so that way this cannot be turned. And it cannot be removed without the key being inserted. So it's got a nice safety feature with that. So with it locked in, it can move up a little bit, but it's pretty stable when I pull on it this way. It's not moving out. I can't pull it out right now. So there's a couple levers here on the top. This one here, if I want to get into the trunk, it looks like I pull that down and then it will recline down like this. So that way you can get into the trunk. So it's nice that does that, and then it locks in there. And then this piece is this top latch is going to allow for the arms to extend up like that. So here's how the bike lock portion works. So see how you have this retractable cable? So this would come down here through the tires, and then around the back here is going to insert right there. And then I would just insert my key. And it'll lock that right in there. So that way it's going to wrap around or through the bikes, and no one's going to be able to take those off. So I like that. That's a pretty cool feature. That. And then it looks like it's not like self-retracting. You have to like push it down in, which is not a problem. Doesn't go all the way down, and so this can hit my back of my car, and if you're driving, it could hit that and scratch your car. So, or even just tuck it in like that. That's probably a good spot to put that when you're not using it. Just like that. Looks like, see, all these little straps that are included, they you just squeeze them and then push them down in, and then you squeeze the sides, and this just pulls up to remove that. So that's a really simple mechanism to be able to strap the bikes down. On every other side too, it has this would hold the bike seat post pole, would sit right there, so you can adjust that, and then each of these can move different positions. So probably the top tube strapped up on top here, you've got your seat post strapped here, so the bike can potentially be strapped down in 3 different spots, and these can all be moved. I got my mountain bike sitting up here. You want them to be as level as possible. The front wheels is sitting a little bit lower. For this bike, this is almost like as good as I'm going to get this. Maybe if I moved it like that. The top of this is all like really hard rubber, so it's not going to damage the bike at all. So on these mounts here, where you have the seat post and then the frame post here, when this is all the way down, and it can even move to the back, that locks this in, it won't move. So if you want to adjust the position, you have to move this all the way forward to be able to adjust that. So I would have to move my bike. My bike is kind of far away from this seat post tube is far away from this. I could move this forward. Okay, so if I move the bike forward, so that would be touching there. You just get a strap. And then just 2 on the top here. One thing I'm a little concerned of is these straps are not attached to the bike rack itself. They come off, and so I am concerned that they might lose them. Like, you know, I pull up to my destination, I'm out at the trail, go mountain biking, and I pull these off. You've got to store these somewhere. I guess you could just put them back in. You could just put them back in here when you're not using them. So that one's in there. All right, this bike's on there pretty good. I got the tire strap on. It includes this little tire strap to help keep the tire from like moving around as much, and it won't be spinning the whole time. I have another bike here I want to put on. When you're putting multiple bikes on, you want to put them in a staggered way. So the front of this one's here. The front of the next one will go over here. You always want to put the biggest and heaviest one closest to the vehicle. Now this is meant to have 4 bikes. Usually I find a lot of these bike racks for 4 bikes like this style. You know, 4 is a tight squeeze. If they're depending on the type of bike, if they're bigger mountain bikes, it might be a struggle. So the second one's here. I can flip up my seat post holder and then strap these in. These move pretty good, pretty easily. So. All right, so strapping in the seat post, got that one in. They strap down really easily. Show you here. So see how the bike that's closest to the car, the front tire's hanging a little lower, just like it is over here. It's hanging a little bit lower. I think this would be fine. You sell a couple accessories, like if your bike has a big. If this is really curved downward, you can get a straight bar that goes up from the seat post to the handlebar to create more of an even surface for the bike to mount to. So there's a couple accessories you can get to help mounting the bikes easier. This is pretty easy. Like these 2 bikes are on there okay. Even though the fronts are tilted down a little bit, it's still most likely not going to hit or drag, or I just would be careful going over curbs and gutters and driveway entrances and things like that. So. Okay, here in the car, once we're going to take this for a spin. If we go into our settings, and then we go to pedal and steering, and then we want to go to trailer mode on, that's going to allow the car to realize there's something behind us. Otherwise, all the sensors are going to go off. The parking sensors are going to go off, thinking there's something behind you. So it works better when you're in trailer mode. So we're going to rear view camera. And I can kind of just monitor if I want to just watch the bikes, just make sure everything's okay. Especially if you're going through like if there's a driveway or some kind of a dip in the road, you just want to be careful, especially like with mine, where my front tires are hanging down a little bit. I don't have as much clearance as I normally would. Want to be aware of that. So here we have the camera on so that we can kind of view the bikes just to see how or if they're moving. They're moving just a little bit, but they're not going to fall off. They're strapped on. There's no issue there. But it does give you a good perspective where you can see the front tires of each of the bikes. And okay, I just turned the tow haul mode off, and you can see I've got like warning lights right behind me. It's just showing that there's something behind me. So that's why we want to have trailer mode on while we have a bike rack on. Alright guys, so the bike's held up great on my little test drive I did. Didn't go very far. I'll kind of give you some updated videos as I use this more, maybe go on some longer trips. I have heard some feedback that the bike rack does hinder the aerodynamics of the vehicle, so you are affecting aerodynamics. Therefore, it's not going to do as good on range. So you need to account for that if you're going on a longer road trip. The range isn't going to be good as your car. Well, a couple feedback items I want to just provide, just using this for the short period that I have, is these little clips here, that ratchet straps that go over the clips over the posts on the bikes. The fact that they're not like attached to the rack itself, I can see losing these. It looks like they do provide you with a few extra ones, but you know, as you're taking these on and off and placing them down, sitting them on the ground, sitting them in places, you just have to be a little careful with these, that you're not going to lose these over time. So that might be a concern. Also, there's a strap included for the front tire, like it's kind of like it says the front wheel or front tire strap. There's only one of them, but since the tires, if you're putting them staggered, you need more than one strap to strap the front tire down so that it's not moving. So it needs a couple more of these front tire straps. But these do seem like a heavy-duty, hard plastic type strap, so these probably are going to hold up, but just hopefully I don't lose them. But otherwise, I think it's a really cool-looking accessory for a Tesla with the tow hitch. You know, it's got a really futuristic look. Looks sleek, looks clean. It really matches the car really well. So I like the looks of it. The feel is super heavy duty. So I'm excited to use it over the next little bit. As I do so, I'll give you guys kind of an update video just to show you how it's held up and what some of my feedback over time. But my initial feedback is that I think it's a great looking bike hitch rack, and excited to use it. So guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. This can be purchased off Tesla.com. So I'll leave a link to it down below. Be sure to use my referral link if you're ordering a new Tesla. There's incentives and bonuses for using a referral link. So be sure to do that. We'll see you in the next videos, guys. Thanks.